Clinic Company continues now. They're giving voice to the disabled. It is their own voice, a self-advocacy group sponsored by the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities called Salute. The president of the organization is here this morning. He's Nate Turner, and we're going to talk about this program that was developed, Nate, a couple of years ago, right?
It was. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you. So you're the president of the organization. Tell us about the genesis of this.
Yes, Salute is self-advocates Lucas Toledo. It's a culmination, and we are a group of young adults that are focused on self-advocacy, peer leadership, and connecting with business and community leaders. We started out with a grant from the Ohio Self-Determination Association to take a special training called Project STIR that emphasizes those three goals. And this was in November of 2017. And this is all a result of the board leadership deciding that individuals need to have more of a say in how their services are delivered.
And you are having your say now. So
yes.
What are the objectives? What's the process then? You're going out into the community, right? You're talking to folks. Tell us about that.
Yes, we've connecting with business and community leaders is a major goal of ours, especially as it relates to employment. We recognize in the disability community that employment is a huge barrier to independence and having just equal access to all of the same opportunities that people without disabilities enjoy. So we're really focused on networking with businesses and community leaders to make sure that they recognize the value of hiring people with disabilities. And we've developed a special presentation that hopefully we're going to give to the Chamber of Commerce, I think later on in the spring.
And you already got a proclamation as well.
Yes, the proclamation is coming, I think March 12th is when I will take care of that.
Yeah, so tell us, so this program, Salute, the organization in place since late 2017.
Yes, November 2017.
How has it gone so far and what you've been able to do? You've come up with a presentation and kind of a strategy for how you plan to get yourselves out there?
Yes, we are, as I said, we continue to network with business and community leaders. We worked closely with Councilwoman Sandy Spang with respect to workforce development, and I know you talked about that from a different perspective a little earlier in the show, segment, so right. It's nice to have a little synergy there. But yeah, obviously having access to competitive employment is going to give individuals with disabilities access to all areas of life, and
Is the business community, how has the business community as a whole been? Receptive so far? What have you met? What have you encountered?
It's really difficult sometimes with specific employers to have an ideal match with individuals with disabilities, because some of the ways that we demonstrate our skill aren't as readily apparent. So we really depend upon services from the board and community agencies for things like job development and shadowing and resume development and so forth. So this type of workforce development is critical.
You mentioned it's attitudinal barriers that prevent you from being, this community from being totally inclusive, right? So you're working on breaking down these barriers here.
Yes. Yes, and one of the things about disability is that it's a fundamental part of the entire human experience. So everything we do is just about allowing people with disabilities to be seen in the same light as everyone else and have access to the same opportunities.
And that's what you're working toward?
Yes.
How big is your organization? You lead this organization called Salute.
Yeah, so I believe we have about 20 members that meet on a monthly basis, but there is a larger swath of individuals that participated in the training, and we continue to add more members each month as they begin to see what we do and learn about how we can help.
What are some of the things that you feel that your organization, the people in your organization, can do and say, we're not restricted to doing this. What you think we might, what we might do on the surface, we're we can do much more. We bring more to the table than you think.
Well, part of this too is realizing that we as people with disabilities have a voice, and so we're constantly reaching out to decision makers and policy makers in our communities, and we're preparing to attend the Disability Advocacy Day during the State of the State in Columbus on this Tuesday to address primarily transportation, because that's a significant barrier to access in our community.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where Lucas County, in your estimation, stands in terms of being inclusive and accessible. So is transportation the biggest obstacle you face?
Transportation is a major impediment. I know statewide, Ohio is we're the 7th largest state, and we spend we're 45th or so on the list of states nationally in terms of the resources that we allocate to public transportation. And public transportation is vital for people with disabilities to have competitive employment and access to the communities easily.
But you're working toward that end. We lag behind, as you said, in a major way in terms of funding for what you need here.
Yes, one of our other major policy priorities is really working with grassroots disability advocates to work with TARTA and TARPs and local transportation providers to really see what we can do to address the funding issue.
Yeah, and TARTA facing its own challenges right now. And,
yes.
And I imagine you're trying to work with them and say you can't, it'd be very difficult if they cut any TARP services at all going forward, right?
Yes. I believe we're going to be participating in an event that the Ability Center is hosting in Rossford on March 15th about the importance of using some of the new money from the impending gas tax to supplement public transportation.
Okay, and we have heard about that. We have heard about that it would be road repair, but perhaps
yes, there should be some room for transportation as well. And locally, our community can do our part by allowing TARTA to transition from a property tax model to sales taxes for additional funding.
Okay, and that's a topic for another day, Nate Turner, going forward. But best of luck to you in your efforts here. The month of March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month.
Yes, pleasure.
Here in Lucas County. He is the president of Salute. We thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Nate Turner. Jeff Smith is in touch right after.